Welcome and thank you for tuning in to what I will call a special episode of the podcast. Evidently, you're unaware. I am your host, Andrea, also known as the Successful Diva, and I'm going to dig right in because this is one of those newsworthy topics that I just simply think many people may not catch the full implications until you kind of hear a little bit more about what has happened. And so, if you have followed me for any length of time, you know that I do not have an issue. I do not have an issue with calling out bad decisions, none being bigger than the one made by two groups of people who ushered in a 34 count convicted felon into the White House to assume the position of the 47th president of these United States. Who are those two groups of people? They are the 77,303,573 who voted for him. And then there is the other group, the 89,248,948, who didn't bother to show up at all to cast a vote. So there's that. That's a bad decision. And you guys know I do not have an issue with calling that out. It is what it is. They did what they did for the reasons they did them for. But on September 4th of this year, 2025, the Hyundai Motor Group of Ellabelle, Georgia, became the casualty of yet another bad decision. In a raid conducted by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, 475 workers, of whom 300 were South Korean citizens, they were detained in Ellabelle, Georgia. The woman, get this, the woman claiming credit for calling ICE has been identified as Tori Branham, Branum, Branham, either way, Tori. She's taking credit for calling ICE. But listen to her resume. She is a former U.S. Marine, a self-proclaimed MAGA Karen, and she's currently running for District 12 Congress in the state of Georgia. Currently running for District 12 Congress in the state of Georgia. Imagine, Tori wants to represent the citizens who reside in District 12 on the state level of Georgia. The woman who's taking credit for the phone call. When I elevate a topic or an issue on this platform, it is designed expressly and intentionally to elevate your awareness on an issue. In this case, I want to talk about the raid, but not just the raid on a top level. I want to talk about what that means. You've got South Koreans who are here legitimately on visas, doing work. Their country and the government they're in are now wanting to get these persons back home, as they should. But nonetheless, that is just the kind of the tip of the iceberg of the far-reaching consequences of what has happened at the Hyundai Motor Group plant. So these far-reaching consequences cannot be explained better. I've done some research, I dug in, I found a few things of what that impact means, how many jobs would Georgia lose now, and other things that may have to come to a halt when productivity stops, all of those things. But then I found a gentleman who explained it a little bit detailed because he experienced this, I think, in some of his work experience in another state. And so I just thought, you know what? Why not just let him explain it? So let's listen to how the Hyundai raid in Ellabelle, Georgia could have far-reaching consequences, not only to those persons who are no longer in Georgia or on their way back to Korea, but other jobs, not just in Georgia, but in other states. And also the worldwide reach diplomatically that this may mean for our country. Let's take a look.
Hi, as someone who worked on the Blue Oval Ford plant, Blue Oval City up here in Stanton, Tennessee, kind of, in between Jackson and Memphis, I stayed there for about a year last year working on this project. And let me tell you something, a woman who is claiming that she called ICE on that Hyundai plant in Georgia, this is going to be so much bigger than just Hyundai. Okay? Ford itself, the most American car manufacturer you can think of, every single bit of our machinery was set up and programmed by South Koreans. The engineering of the building, the engineering of the machines, every bit of it was done by SK Engineering out of South Korea. Yes, the same SK that is part of SKT T1 Telecom, the big league team. Yeah, Faker, this guy, their engineering branches who designed and set up these machines. What they do is for the years that the plant is being built, because South Korea is heavily invested in our electric vehicle manufacturing and production. So what they do is they design the machines, send them over here, we set them up, millwrights, everything else. We set the iron, we set the building up, we get everything up. And then they come over, set up the machines, and then train American workers how to run the machines. This woman not only just cost Georgia billions of dollars with this plant, because I highly doubt that South Korea will send their workers back. If they do, it's going to be under very strict rules for the Trump administration. If you don't think that word will get around to every other car manufacturer, because it's not just Hyundai, it is Ford, it's Chevy, it's Nissan, Mazda, Toyota, every single one of them. The machines are designed, installed, and set up by South Koreans. It's the biggest, when you think of car plants, it's intertwined. So no, you idiots have not only just cost Georgia billions, you've created a massive diplomatic problem that this administration will not be able to handle right. And on top of that, there's a good chance that any of these other car plants that have gone up in the last few years that haven't had their machines set up yet, odds are you've just fucked with those jobs as well. You are talking about tens of thousands of American jobs. Poof, up in smoke. So congratulations, MAGA. Your racism is once again going to cost us billions of dollars because you guys can't get over the fact that people who aren't white are better than you.
And there you have it. That's it. Did you hear what he just said? With or without the curse words, but here you have it. That is what has occurred from one bad decision. Real life, real world consequences here in America, not for just those swept up in the raid, but across our country. And so I will just leave with this. In the words of Maya Angelou, she said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. So Georgia, to my friends, those of you who are in that state, share this post. And if you know people that are in District 12 in Georgia, let them know Tori has shown you who she is. Don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing you more and just simply sharing more with you. You'll see the information there on the screen. You can reach me at my email, andrea@strategicblueprint.info. Also the YouTube channel, subscribe at Evidently You're Unaware, and don't forget to follow me on Blue Sky. You'll find Andrea there. That's me at thesuccessfuldiva.bsky.social. I look forward to seeing you again soon with more relevant information and or topics for which you should become more aware.
Evidently, You're Unaware is a platform dedicated to shining light upon various issues, topics, circumstances, and people who influence our lives. The information provided should not be considered advice for legal, health, investments, or the endorsement of an individual or group. Neither the host nor the guest of Evidently You're Unaware is responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from using the information shared within this podcast. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Evidently You're Unaware.